I don't know where we're headed. Won't talk about you with your wicked words. I've had it out, and that's why I felt this way. Standing outside of your parents' place, staring at the writing on our hands. And I still know all of our memes, those reps that existed without any seams. They're all our best laid plans. They're all our best laid plans. Yeah. Ow! Yeah. Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a sore, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you, they was blocking the shine. Now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents, and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. Gotta do it big, that's the only way to live. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. Gotta do it big. That's the only way to live. Come on. Yeah, come on.
be better with another, but I always pick you. I try my best to fight it, can't deny it. Touches diamonds, and you're probably the reason that I'm so messed up too. I can't stop it, it's ugly but honest. Got me tripping for the way you say my name, say my name, say my name. Could count the ways you drive me so insane, but when you call I still fall back into your game. Play the game, play the game. Wrong can still be right. People wanna tell me all the time that someday my prince will come, but if this ain't love, then I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Hands are in my denim, but your heart's not with them. Tearing up the thought of all the pieces missing. And I try to know better, to know it's worse. I swear I'm cursed, 'cause I know you're bad for me, but it makes no difference. No, no, I can't stop it, it's ugly but honest. Got me tripping for the way you say my name, say my name, say my name. Wrong can still be right. People wanna tell me all the time that someday my prince will come, but if this ain't love, then I don't want it. Love, I don't want it. Love, I don't want it. Love, I don't want it. Someday my prince will come, but if this ain't love, then cover me in colors I can only see with you. I'd be better with another, but I always pick you. Oh, and I count the ways you drive me so insane, but when you call I still fall back into your game. No, no, wrong can still be right. People wanna tell me all the time that someday my prince will come, but if this ain't love, then I don't want it. I don't want it. Someday my prince will come, but if this ain't love, then I don't want it.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out 'cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your gray. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now. The future is now. The future is now. I waited for you in the passenger seat. There's only so far I can ride in your dreams, while you were chasing everything else but me. I'm starting to break out from your gray. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day is now. The future is now. I'm not backing down, 'cause the future is now. Not backing down, 'cause the future is now. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I knew one day would come back around. The future is now. The future is now. The future is now.
Hello everyone, we are here for a special occasion where we will reveal the future of Rainbow Six Esports. I am Anne, and today I'm joined by Intero. This is your first time in the EUL studio. How are you feeling today?
I feel great. It's always nice to be back in Paris. I haven't been here since the majors, about 4.5 years ago. It's my first time actually stepping foot in this studio. I get to see it on TV all the time, but to actually be here in person is great. Though I will say it looks a little bit different than it usually does, Anne.
But it's for a special reason, because we have a lot of information to share today.
And for this special occasion, we've put together a video highlighting 7 unforgettable years that we've made together with you. Let's take a look.
Here today, the top 2 teams from Europe and from America.
Diffuser down with 30 seconds. Bouncy's going to find 4, but Pengu says no. Penta are your first PC Pro League champions.
Damien alone, and he drops down. Continue are your world champions.
Penta's going to have time to get the diffuser down, and we are going to see Penta win this all. They're the world champions right now from season 1. He's going to be spotted. Can he get the kill on a Septic? He grabs the Eagle kill! It's now Fabian, it's all up to him. And a 1-on-2, Julian and Wag. Can he get it? Fabian's going to dip around the grid. He won't get it. Julio gets the frag. Black Dragons goes to the grand final.
Ents versus Black Dragon. Bootsy adds to Wag. You call them Ents, we call them champions. Ents takes year 2, season 3.
Welcome to the final of the Six Invitational!
One man away from the championship.
Let's go back on stage, boys. We have this. Let's go.
Diffuser in a position where they'll have to see when the Hibana goes through. One will cover the doorway as they start to defuse. Pengu goes for 1 on the Young. Can he go the second? They're often known as the best team in the world.
We are in Atlantic City.
Tentando caçar com tudo. E o Satinete consegue levar o round. A Team Liquid vai sendo campeã da Pro League.
Oh, Joe Perry!
Close to getting the victory, and he goes down. G2 will take the win.
Two-time world champions of Sound Q will give Damon the information. Oh, he takes one down! And a new empire will rise as you crown a new champion here in Milan. Two kills, 3 for Shepard, and the empire strikes. finds one, and Hyper is there. Na'Vi just need a couple more seconds. And it's done!
We have a new Pro League champion. It's Na'Vi!
Leo has the diffuser in hand. He finds the shots, but Palu cannot find the kill. Out comes the Nitro.
shot out
by Pino.
Your winners, it is the Ninjas in pajamas!
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, I got one, so team one's up one. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
And team one wins! Yeah!
5 seconds left, but it's been surrendered. And do you believe in magic, Michael? Team 1 does, as they win the Mexico Major.
It's time for our grand final.
FaZe have everything in their power, and that's the diffuser. Years and years of hard work pay off. FaZe Clan are your champions. All he has to do is stop joystick. 2 seconds left. There's multiple people looking, but always has the insurance policy. Empire come so close before, but they've fallen short and they'll do so again. TSM are your 6th Invitational 2022 World Champs. It's J9-0 to save Astralis. DZ can double up and secure their first international major win. Yesterday they took the cloud from LA. Today they take the kingdom from Blackout.
Rogue EU winners of the Berlin Major.
3 versus 4.
You know, no matter how many times I watch those kinds of videos, I still get goosebumps. And having been there for all of it, it's crazy how just a couple minutes can bring all those memories back. And honestly, that's why we love esports. It's for the hype, it's for the storylines, and it's for the memories that we make. And I'm going to put you on the spot because you've been watching for quite a while. You've been involved for quite a while. If you had to pick a single moment that means the most to you, which one would you choose?
But it has to be the first ever Siege tournament that I watched, which is the S6 Invitational 2018. I mean, the interrogation, which was very surprising, all the celebrations afterwards. I really, really enjoyed that event. And I want to put you on the spot now as well. Do you have a favorite memory out of all these years that you've been working as well?
2018 SI is just such an easy one to pick, right? For me, it was a huge moment too, but because you picked it, I have to pick something different. So instead, I'm going to go with the 2020 SI. But to me, the one thing that stands out the most, and I get chills right now, like I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, was when Space Station seemingly got brought back to life, when the crowd and the audience pulled out their phones and turned on their flashlights, simulating the night sky and the stars in the sky. It's just that level of spontaneity only comes from a crowd and it only comes from a LAN.
It is time to make new memories though, because we have a video to introduce the future of Rainbow Six Esports.
Welcome to the future of Rainbow Six Esports. As we're about to start year 8 of Rainbow Six Siege, today we will share with you some exciting changes to our global esports circuit. Starting in March 2023, we are taking our global circuit in an even more granular direction with 9 regions. Europe, North America, Brazil, Hispanic Latin America, Japan, South Korea, Asia, Oceania, and MENA. The new global circuit is based on a hybrid approach that combines both closed and open components. While we are still fine-tuning the details for the regional programs in Asia, Oceania, and MENA, we can already share that Europe, North America, Brazil, and Japan will each have a closed league with up to 10 teams. South Korea and Hispanic Latin America will each have a closed league with up to 8 teams. In addition, during each stage, all 9 regions will have open qualifiers. Combined, the closed leagues and open qualifiers will determine which teams qualify for the 6th major at the end of each stage. Each competitive season will run from March through the following February. Stage 1 will run from March to May across all regions and will be concluded by an extended 6th major in May. From June to August, an off-season will offer teams and players time to regroup, rest, and prepare for Stage 2. Stage 2 will then run from September to November with a second extended 6th major organized in November. From December to February, there will be a second off-season as teams and fans start to prepare for the 6th Invitational in February. With 9 regions sending teams to each 6th major, we've extended the format of the event, which will now include an additional phase before the group stage and playoffs. Teams will have 2 possible ways to be part of the 16 teams that will compete in the group stage. By finishing in the top teams of the regional closed leagues, which will directly qualify them for the group stage, or by fighting their way through the regional open qualifiers and the play-in phase in order to qualify for the group stage. The top 8 teams from the group stage will qualify for the playoffs to decide the champions of the 6th major. With more regions represented in each event and some teams coming directly from regional qualifiers, the extended 6 majors promise exciting cross-regional matchups and spectacular storylines. Each regional program in 6th major will continue to tie into the global race to score points to qualify for the 6th Invitational, the pinnacle of the competitive year that gathers in February the 20 best teams of the season to crown the Rainbow Six Siege's world champions. The 6th Invitational is a celebration of the best of Siege, and for this reason, only teams that showed sustained performance throughout the entire season and that scored the highest points in the global standings will be honored to participate in the SI. We can't wait to share more details with you soon at the next 6th Invitational 2023. Stay tuned and don't miss our next update on the new era of Rainbow Six Esports.
That's an incredible amount of changes that have been packed into one video, and you might have some questions about some of the things that you saw. I know that I do. Well, the good news is that we've got 2 great guests here to help debrief some of the things that you saw. Wei, you join us all the way from Ubisoft Montreal. You're the esports director working on the development team. And then from not too far away here in Paris, Zeynep, you're the senior director and the head of regions. Welcome to both of you. How are you doing today?
Thank you. We're doing great, I think. What do you say, Wei?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be in the studio. It's great to have this reveal. I'm happy to be here.
Now, the question of many that I'm sure people have, but the one that's on the top of their mind is, why is Rainbow Six Esports changing?
Esports as an industry is such a fast-paced environment, and it's a living organism that we need to adapt to constantly. Went back to the drawing board. We've looked at all the things we've done correctly, and we're immensely proud of what we have achieved in the past years. And as you've seen in the video as well, a lot of our core principles and values are staying the same. But we also talking with our community, listening to their feedback, and speaking to our partners and partnered organizations. We made significant changes that we're introducing today.
Now, was there anything in particular, Zeynep, that inspired the change in this ecosystem?
I mean, it is definitely a great experience to see all these new formats and strategies popping up with the new games and new genres that are being introduced to our space. And it, I think, also shows how much versatile and diverse esports can be in its own. So for us, we have a big portfolio of our games, and they all have different competitive structures. And for Rainbow Six, we thought that this was the best kind of format that we could introduce that would be speaking to the needs of the community, but also the needs of the other members of the ecosystem.
Are you planning on running this program for multiple years? And if so, how will you ensure that it stays relevant for the community in the long term?
And I think the very structure of the new ecosystem that we worked on with the 9 regional leagues and some other things that we're going to be sharing with you in the coming minutes will attest to the fact that it's more adaptable. It gives us the agility to actually be able to change, switch, maybe amend looking at the performance of the competitive games, looking at the leagues, looking at the engagement of the community, and especially the hunger for our 6 esports.
Going from 4 regions all the way up to 9 regions, over doubling the amount of regions that are going to have competing teams. That's quite the expansion. What led to that?
I think it was a level of confidence in the regional programs that was launched in 2020. One of the premises of this new structure that we're here to share information about today is the adaptability around the evolution of communities. And I think we have so many stories already from these 4 regions to the expansion of 9 that maybe Wei can shed some light into, because he had a front row seat for quite a few events in the past years.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I think if you look at the past, we had Brazil being part of the LATAM region, but they've proved over and over again that they're a powerhouse in the entirety of our ecosystem. And then looking into our Asia territory, we have Japan and Korea. They've been performing really well. They've been catching up with the rest of the world as well. So it just made sense for us to, distinguish additional regions.
So Asia Pacific is now split up in 4 different regions. Zeynep, do you think pinning issues in this region have affected this decision?
Yes, it's a factor, but obviously it's not the only one. So I think we also wanted to celebrate the growth of the communities that we've been watching for the past few years, and it's going to be amazing to see how they're going to be sending their teams directly to every major now.
Now, for me as a caster, I care about inter-regional matchups as long as I'm not drawing the teams that are going to play in them. So for you, Wei, you go to most of the live events. You've been to probably over half of the Rainbow Six events at this point. With 9 regions coming in now, are there any regional matchups that you're particularly excited for?
There is so much to look forward to. Of course, there's the El Clásicos between NA, Europe, and Brazil, which are always exciting to witness. But then there's also the new regions coming into the majors. Those will be very exciting to follow as well. Let's take MENA as an example. They have a vibrant community, and they've been performing really well in third-party tournaments this year. And I can't wait to see them on the global stage. Latin America. They've been gate-capped by Brazil for such a long time. They've been 1 match away from going to the majors, and now we will finally see them at a global audience.
So with those new regions, Wei, what do you think is the first challenge for those new independent regions?
I think they will probably have a few hurdles to overcome. First of all, they have a bit of catching up to do. Not going to lie, it's not going to be easy for them. Some of the established regions have a few years ahead of them, so that is going to be a challenge for sure. Second, they now have a bigger platform. They have a global audience that are going to be watching them with a magnifying glass, but it's also an opportunity, of course. They have this huge potential of 85 million players as a fan base that they can tap into. And last but not least, I would say the ever-changing meta of the game. That is going to be a challenge for both the new regions, but also the existing regions, because with new regions coming in, the metas will shift more quickly, and everyone will have to adapt to that.
Now, if you watched the video, you saw that the start time of next year's league is pretty familiar. We'll be starting in March like we have previously. However, we also saw that the timeline of the year has changed, with there being an off-season in the middle, bookended by a stage and a major on each side. 2 stages, 2 majors, and a dedicated break. Can you tell us more about what went into that decision?
We've been bouncing back ideas back and forth with our pro organizations, and we've been listening to the feedback of our pro players as well. And a lot of what we heard is that they need a proper break in the year to rejuvenate and to regroup, but also to rethink their strategies, right? So that is very important to us, and that is the main reason we decided to have 2 stages now instead of 3, having a proper break in the summer and a proper break in the winter before the 6th Invitational.
So it sounds like if the goal is to allow the players to rejuvenate, to take some time off, find themselves, do whatever they want with their time, that you're hoping that by reducing the quantity, it's going to improve the quality. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes, absolutely. I think by reducing the season to 2 stages, we'll have deeper storylines for exactly those 2 stages, and we have a proper off-season as well, as you mentioned. And this gives us a bit more breathing room as well to get our creative juices flowing for the upcoming stage.
So that's the timeline fleshed out for all of you watching at home and for us here in the studio too. But outside of the timeline, you might want to know about the actual structure of the league. So to both of you, I'll pose some questions. The regional leagues and the way for people to play professionally, the Path to Pro as it's called, have been revamped. Are you comfortable telling us more about it?
As you both know, the conversation between closed leagues versus open leagues has been a one for ages. So what we've been trying to do with this new system is to take best of both worlds and create a hybrid model where we already have closed leagues, but at the same time we have a Path to Pro component with open qualifiers for all regions, for all majors. So basically that is giving our community more chances to compete at an international level, but at the same time still protecting the investment by the teams and organizations that have been with us and that are going to be with us, because we all know how costly it could be to sustain high-performing rosters, and on top of that, it gives them a bit more capability to plan in a more long-term way.
I'm glad that you acknowledge that there's been some debate here, because if you keep a finger on the pulse of the community, many of them out there have talked at length about what they feel is the best system for Rainbow Six Esports. For people who have concerns over a closed league system, what to both of you would be the benefit of moving to a closed league?
Of course, we've heard the feedback from our community loud and clear, especially when we announced the relegation or more of the lack of. But there's certain benefits to a closed league as well. Zeynep mentioned the strategic investment of partnered organization, but there's also another aspect to look at this. Some of our orgs in the professional system mentioned to us that they rather keep a middling team that is able to perform in their closed leagues right now, without the risk of relegation. But that also means they're afraid to bring in new up-and-coming players, those new gunners that are really flourishing in our ecosystem as well. Now with a closed league, they have that opportunity. They can test out new talents, and that will be a very beneficial thing for our Path to Pro also.
And for these closed leagues, how will you ensure that they remain highly competitive?
So we have a very robust point system in the works, and obviously being a top contender in your closed league will guarantee you points for the SI. So we do believe that being part of closed league is not a guaranteed thing. It is still something that the organizations will have to fight for.
People at home are wondering, and I'm actually wondering it too now that we're standing here, which teams are going to be able to compete in the closed league?
We will be sharing more about that during the SI.
One of the best parts of our esports program are our majors. Getting teams from all over the globe to compete with one another for the glory of being a major champion. And one thing that was hinted at and touched on a number of times in the video was how the majors will be expanded on. So I'm curious, how are they going to be expanded on? How are they going to be bigger? How are they going to be better?
So the majors are our temple events where all the eyeballs are on the international competition. And we really want to amplify that experience for both players and our fans. So we are expanding the 6 majors to have a phase before what you know today of the already known group stage and playoffs. The previous phase, or the first phase, if you want to call it that, will have additional teams participating, and you will see all of the different regions being part of that.
So there's an additional phase for people to compete, which means that there's more of a chance for underdog stories?
Absolutely. All of the 9 regions will be sending teams to the first phase of the major, and that means we will see new opportunities for global clashes that we haven't experienced before.
All right, Zeynep, so how does this open qualifier support to Path to Pro? Let's say there are aspiring pro players watching. What does their path look like?
People from all skill levels, like even if it's a 5-stack or an amateur team just up and coming in the scene, they can come through the open qualifiers in all regions for all majors. I think that is a pretty good step towards ensuring that we have open Path to Pro with a very nice carrot at the end, that the chance to be on the stage, playing on the stage against your pros at a major.
Any prerequisites for that open qualifier system?
Nope, it's open to players from all skill levels.
So other than open quals, what else is there for grassroots in the new ecosystem?
Well, grassroots is the backbone of any esports ecosystem, and it's very important to us. This year, we have launched a tournament platform that allowed people and allowed community members to easily access licenses to organize their own tournaments as well. And on top of that, we do have a number of grassroots initiatives that are tailored according to regional specificities on a global scale.
So wait, performing at these 6 majors will be a huge factor to qualify for 6 Invitational, I assume?
That is absolutely correct. But you're gathering points, and we mentioned the new point system before, you're gathering points both at international event, but also at the regional level. So it makes a lot of sense for up-and-coming teams that will also be earning points throughout the open qualifiers.
One of my favorite parts of any major, and of course during the Six Invitational, is the heroic runs that teams put together at the last minute can put on. But it sounds like last chance qualifiers are done. Why are they gone?
Yeah, LCQs are a thing of the past now. We really want to ensure that the best 20 teams of the entire year perform at the Six Invitational, which of course is our World Championship of Rainbow Six Siege. So with that in mind, we will be looking at the performance of each team throughout the entire year, and we will seed the top 20 teams based on a point system into the Six Invitational. That being said, keep in mind that there's open qualifiers now into both majors where teams will be earning points. So the path to the Six Invitational is open to everyone.
So we are going to Montreal for SI 2023. But after that, is there any hint on where Six Invitational will be located?
So yes, we have already announced that we're going to move the SI around the world starting in 2024. And what I can say at this point is that it will definitely be at warmer places than Montreal in winter.
Okay, sounds exciting.
Not hard to find a destination warmer than Montreal in the winter. Well, on that mysterious note, that's it for our show. We shared a lot of details with you about the changes to the Rainbow Six esports ecosystem over the next couple years, and we hope that most of your questions were answered. Actually, before we end, are there any other details that you'd like to share with us? Anything that we missed today?
It was a pleasure to be able to shed a bit more light into the plans that we have for the future. And I'm guessing we're going to be seeing each other very soon.
No, I think we shared everything we had for today, but definitely tune in for the Sixth Invitational. And until then, I wish you a blast going into the new season.
Well, thank both of you for showing up today. Thank you for watching. We hope you were as edutained as is humanly possible. And that's it. You have anything to add before we close out the show?
Yeah, I have something to add because we have one final video for you to conclude the show. It is a little surprise, so we'll leave you with that and I will see you very soon.